In an unanticipated turn of events, Jana Duggar's bachelorette celebration was interrupted by a law enforcement officer. The TLC celebrity, who is 34 years old, went to California for the celebrations that took place before her wedding to her now husband, Stephen Wissmann, which took place in August. While she was on her way to the airport, she was detained by the police. The police alerted the former cast member of 19 Kids and Counting in a video that was uploaded to her YouTube account on November 27. "So I caught you speeding today," the officer said. "When you passed me, you were exceeding the speed limit by a significant margin." An explanation was given to the officer by Jana, along with several of her siblings and her mother, Michelle Duggar, that they were going to be late to the airport. They were fortunate enough to be released with a warning from the police, who, according to one of the sisters, had previously assisted them in herding their cows. The officer also urged them to drive safely to the airport. The bachelorette trip that took place in Santa Barbara, California, lasted for 4 days, and during that time they had more than one encounter with the law. Later, while Jana was attending a festival, she took photographs of her mother, who was 58 years old at the time, as she chased a man who had stolen someone's wallet. When Michelle was walking back from speaking with officials, Jana said in the video, "So mom's over there with the cops and they're trying to figure out what just happened." Michelle had just finished speaking with the authorities. He provided them with a description. She told the group of girls that they had both of the guys in their possession. "I told them, it's not acceptable to do that. It is a disaster for everyone involved. I'm going to tell the person, you actually stole it. You are harassing me," he was heard saying. "I told her, I am not trying to harass you. I'm being completely honest with you. You should be ashamed. Your mother would not be pleased with you." Jana closed the video blog by informing her audience that she had a good time in California despite the challenges that she encountered. The wedding is the next event on the agenda. In Prairie Grove, Arkansas, Jana and Stephen, both 31 years old, exchanged their vows in front of 500 guests. After rekindling their romance earlier this year, the couple announced their engagement in a covert ceremony on June 15. Even though they had crossed each other's paths in 2021, it wasn't until several years later that their romance began to blossom. It was as if we were asking ourselves, what are we doing? We continue to take pleasure in one another. After the wedding, Jana shared with people that she and her husband continue to have a deep appreciation for one another. "At first, I was a slower mover on it, but as time went on, his character, his coming back, and his continued love for me regardless of everything I did changed. I realized that we have a large and wild family, and that we are still kind of putting up with a lot of stuff at this point. The thought that comes to my mind is, my goodness, there are not that many people who do that. I have no doubt that he is really concerned about me." Jana's sisters made up a significant portion of the wedding party, and Jessa Duggar was assigned the role of maid of honor for the occasion. The role of her bridesmaids was filled by her sister-in-law Abby Duggar, as well as her sisters Joy-Anna Duggar, Joanna Duggar, Jordan Duggar, and Jenner Duggar. Following the successful completion of her wedding, Jana relocated from the house she shared with her family in Arkansas to a new home in Nebraska, where she lived with her husband. After some time had passed, Jana thought on her significant relocation from Arkansas to Nebraska, and she admitted that she was going to miss being close to family. "Right now, while I'm back in Arkansas, it makes me really want to be intentional and to make some fun memories with my family and to soak up these final weeks here," Jana remarked in a video that was uploaded to YouTube on October 9th, which was taped prior to their wedding. Because of her bachelorette trip, Jana Duggar has been making waves in the world of Duggar news thanks to her appearance. Fun, humor, and a shocking run-in with the law were all present and accounted for throughout this trip, which was full of all the ingredients. It is true that the celebrity was stopped by a law enforcement officer when she was making some memories with her family. Everything went down when Jana's bachelorette party took a wild turn for the worse. When fans were finally informed of the cause behind this stunning encounter, they were in a state of amazement and surprise. What is the point of all of this? Why did the authorities manage to apprehend her? If you continue reading, you will discover some surprising information regarding Jana and her meeting with the police. People who follow Duggar news have always been curious about what the future holds for Jana Duggar and Stephen Wissmann. In the beginning, they were not entirely certain that these two would be able to remain together. Fans, on the other hand, are expecting that the pair will be ready to start a family in the near future because their marriage is going on strong. In a recent post on Reddit, the question of whether or not Jana would decide to have children at all or whether she would follow in her mother's footsteps and have a huge clan was recently debated. As a matter of fact, the original poster brought up the potential that Jana might be exhausted by children after having raised practically all of her siblings. On the other hand, many are of the opinion that Jana would undoubtedly be excited about the prospect of having children. A user even went so far as to say that Jana is already 34 years old, which means that she would most certainly consider having 18 children. Because of this, they are confident that she will come to terms with her life after having 2 to 3 children. The police detained Jana Duggar at her bachelorette party. Recent events include Jana Duggar's special bachelorette celebration, which she detailed in a video blog that she uploaded to YouTube and shared with her Duggar News audience. The video showed her enjoying a good time with her mother and other members of her family while they were creating a number of memories together. The celebrity, on the other hand, disclosed that she had been involved in a regrettable occurrence and that things went from bad to worse when she was apprehended by the authorities. After Jana had filmed the entire event, she was pulled over by a law enforcement officer because she had exceeded the speed limit before the incident occurred. As he flashed the radar and noticed her speed, the officer agreed that he had seen her speeding during the incident. Jana then revealed, "I was speeding by accident and I was running late for our flight." During the conversation, however, she was fortunate enough to avoid receiving a ticket since one of her friends knew the officer who was doing the investigation. Because of this, the officer only gave Jana a warning before leaving. He requested that she drive in a secure manner till she arrived at the airport. In addition, he made a joke and requested that they convey to their pilot the direction to fly cautiously and slowly until they were in California. Because of this incident, Jana did not have to serve any type of sentence or imprisonment in order to suffer any kind of punishment. On the other hand, Jana and her trip were unaffected by this little occurrence. While she was in Santa Barbara, she took her family to a theme park and enjoyed the experience. Additionally, Michelle drew attention to herself when she apprehended a robber and brought him to accountability. A call was placed to the authorities, and she turned over the thief to them. It is evident from this that Jana's bachelorette party was full of exciting experiences. Please continue to check back here at the Bombshell 25 for additional updates.